Assalamu alaikum. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam companion, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anh, is quoted by Imam al-Ghazali as saying, "You are today in an age in which desires follow knowledge, and there will come an age in which knowledge follows desires." The age he predicted is the age we are living in today. Take, for example, what was once a biological fact of our gender, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala determined for each of us at birth and is now introduced to us as a choice. Facebook now offers us a choice of 71 different genders to choose from. It is the same philosophy when others within the Abrahamic faith began to ignore divine knowledge to incorporate usury or riba into our daily lives. The modification of the strict prohibition on usury or riba, on which all three Abrahamic faiths agreed upon, was first introduced in the 15th century by European monarchs. In their desire to finance their wars, the European monarchs deliberately changed the word usury to interest, in order to permit money lending at interest as a means to finance their endless wars. You see, these monarchs carried the titles of Holy Roman Emperors and defenders of the Christian faith, which also prohibits usury or riba. Their titles conflicted with their desires, so the word usury was changed to interest because it was in the interest of the king to finance their wars. This ushered in the modern financial system, where interest became acceptable and disassociated from the term usury or riba. For the past 20 years, Guidance Residential has proudly held to the principles of the Muslim faith to help American Muslims avoid the sinful practice of riba. We have stood as the vanguard of the divine knowledge and timeless values of our faith. This is why we are not a bank, nor a subsidiary of a bank. We built our operation from the ground up to be a standalone Islamic financial services company that is backed by a globally recognized organization, owned and managed by Muslims. We work tirelessly to ensure that home ownership is possible for Muslim Americans without compromising our deen, our faith, and by being fully disengaged from riba. Banks or anyone affiliated with them cannot make such declarations. Why did we choose this path? Banks propagate riba in the most deliberate way possible. By using a method called fractional reserve banking, they create money out of thin air. Let's take a look at how they do this. You deposit $1,000 in your bank for safekeeping. You assume that your entire $1,000 is accessible to you at any time because the bank will hold it with the expectation that when you need to spend it, you can. However, they only hold 10% or $100 of your money in the reserves and then take the remaining $900 and lend it out at interest to someone else. That person spends the $900 on a new computer and the electronics shop deposits it at their bank. So their bank now receives a deposit of $900 and keeps 10% of that cash or $90 in reserves and then is free to lend out the remaining $810 to someone else. That someone else takes the $810 and buys an airline ticket. The airline company's bank now receives a deposit of $810 but only keeps $81 in reserves. And this goes on and on. So now let's look at the overall situation. The banks took a cash deposit of $1,000 and used a riba method that turned it into $2,710. This banking system has essentially created a fictional financial economy that is over 26 times larger than everything else produced on Earth. Even more consequential is that this is tantamount to creating something from nothing, which is a clear transgression against our Creator's divine right. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the right to create something from nothing. No one else can. And banks transgress against Almighty Creator every day. Imam al-Ghazali stated that riba is prohibited because it prevents people from undertaking real economic activities. This is because when a person having money is allowed to earn more money on the basis of interest, it becomes easy for him to earn more money without bothering himself to take pains in real economic activities. Unlike banks, we don't lend money. We engage in a true co-ownership arrangement that includes loss sharing with strict avoidance of riba. With supervision from eminent scholars like Sheikh Muhammad Taqi Osmani, the world's leading authority on Islamic finance, we've developed the most intricate and authentically structured Islamic home financing program in the US. The program has become the standard in the industry here and abroad, while garnering endorsements from reputable organizations such as AMJA, the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America, which declared the program to be the most permissible option for Muslim Americans. With more than $10 billion in Islamic home financing provided to over 40,000 Muslim American families in 34 states, we take great pride in our contributions to the growth and development of our community. Guidance is not just a financial institution, we are a pillar in our community, giving back millions of dollars through sponsorships that align with our core values and principles. Our independence from banks has made us the most trustworthy institution with the most authentically structured Islamic home financing program. We invite you to join our mission of avoiding riba and building a true and authentic alternative to a riba-based financial system. By guiding Muslim Americans away from bank-backed financing schemes and toward the purest form of musharaka in the US, we can build a more equitable and fair society to the benefit of all faith. We are Guidance Residential, the #1 U.S. Islamic home financing provider.